Right, viewers, we have some big breaking news coming in. This one from the Rohini Court in the national capital, where the anticipatory bail plea of the Luthra brothers, Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra, have now been dismissed by the Rohini Court. That is the big breaking news at the moment. Remember, earlier today, the Rohini Court had resumed the hearing in which the counsel for the Luthra brothers had essentially made a case that bail and protection is necessary for them so that they can come back to India and join the investigation. But the counsel on behalf of the Goa government in court made a strong case for the fact that it was very easy for this duo, the Luthra brothers duo, to flee the country barely hours after the fire broke out at the Birch nightclub. They tried to evade arrest, they tried to evade responsibility and accountability in the matter, and that is extremely important that the court essentially deny them any anticipatory bail so that they can be deported back to the country and tried in the case. That is the big breaking news that we are getting in at the moment. Luthra brothers essentially now facing arrest in India upon landing in the country. Big setback. Viewers, in fact, early this morning, both of them, they were detained in Thailand by the Royal Thai Police, post which they were, as we speak, they are being kept in a detention center at the immigration premises in Phuket in Thailand. The authorities have essentially suspended the passports of the Luthra brothers, and they also face the risk of a complete revocation of their passport. This is something that the Goa government has appealed to the Ministry of External Affairs. And now we learn that with the deportation process already having been initiated, this is yet another setback for the Luthra duo. The Delhi court now dismissing the anticipatory bail plea of Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra. So no legal recourse for the duo, ladies and gentlemen. They have to be dragged back to the country, and they are set to face trial in Delhi in the Goa nightclub tragedy. All right, on this note, I am also being joined by Deputy Executive Editor Shravan Sen in the studio, who will take us through more details in the case. All right, we'll connect to Shravan in just a bit, but I'm also being joined by Shambhavi, who's joining us with more details about what happened inside court from outside the Rohini Court. Shambhavi, over to you. All right, we'll connect to Shambhavi in just a moment, viewers, but that is the big breaking news that is now coming in. The Luthra brothers essentially facing arrest upon their landing in the national capital. Earlier in court today, the counsel had repeated their claims that they had gone to Phuket on business, but the Goa government essentially making a very strong case in court, saying that they were attempting to evade arrest and evading responsibility.
Luthra brothers are now going to be dragged back to India. A confirmation coming in from Goa Chief Minister, who spoke a short while back, stating that Goa Police, along with the Central Bureau of Investigation, will be bringing back Luthra brothers. In fact, Delhi court has rejected the anticipatory bail plea of Luthras, where they essentially were arguing that they were in Thailand for a business trip and they would be cooperating with the agencies. Let me go across to Shambhavi, who is joining us from outside Rohini Court. Shambhavi, what transpired in the court? On what grounds have the bail been rejected?
See, around 4 major arguments were made, including yesterday and today. One was Luthra brothers escaping for business engagement and not because they wanted to abscond, and that was clearly not entertained by the court, because we know that the bail plea has been, the anticipatory bail plea has been rejected. The other were the medical grounds that both the Luthra brothers, be it Saurabh Luthra suffering from seizures, and Gaurav Luthra has some neuro issue. Again, that was not entertained by the court, because the counsel for for the state of Goa argued that the medicines for both were prescribed without the presence of the patient, which means that it's not that serious of a health issue. The third one was that both the brothers, they just are license holders and they don't participate in the day-to-day operations of all the properties. So they will, of course, aid in the investigation with the authorities, but they're not to be blamed in this entire matter. And the fourth and the most important one was raised by the Luthra brothers, and that they want to come back to India, they want to participate, they want to help the authorities in investigating the matters and also the families of the deceased. But they are scared that once they come back, they'll be lynched and that the properties will be set ablaze. But again, as we clearly see from the rejection of the anticipatory bail, the transit anticipatory bail of both the Luthra brothers, the court clearly did not entertain any of these reasons or arguments that were made by Luthra brothers. And finally, a lot was dependent on this order by the Rohini Court, and now we have the final order, which is rejection of the anticipatory bail. Back to you.
We'll also try and go across to a reporter in Goa, Swarali, because I'm given to understand that this is moving quite fast with Goa police now perhaps taking the call of sending the team as soon as possible. In fact, as we speak, Luthra brothers are still being questioned at the immigration office in Phuket. We've got the latest images coming in a short while back from Phuket, where they're still being questioned. Goa Chief Minister a short while back spoke to media persons where he's essentially indicated that following the high-level meeting that they've essentially had, they believe that custodial interrogation of the Luthra brothers becomes extremely crucial at this point in time. There are allegations that have been leveled against Luthra brothers, particularly about the nightclub that was being run by them. There are violations, there are CRZ violations that have come to the fore. These are allegations that have been leveled against the Luthra brothers, and that is the reason why custodial interrogation becomes extremely crucial. You've also had the legal counsel of Goa government arguing in the court, saying that there is no business intention that they had. This was not a business trip that they had in Thailand, but they essentially wanted to evade the investigation. Let me also bring in my colleague Swarali, who's joining us on this broadcast. Swarali, any confirmation by when are we to expect the Goa police team to leave for Phuket?
The time is yet to be uncertain, but the CM Pramod Sawant has said that in short while team of Goa police will leave for Thailand. On the other hand, we are checking in that in the court bail application has been rejected by the court, and we all know that right now they're present in the immigration office of Thailand, wherein they are still interrogated and documents are being checked. But the CM and all the other authorities in the Goa administration have informed us that strict action will be taken as soon as Luthra brothers land in India. On the other hand, the deportation process, which is all the norms are supposed to be followed, is in ongoing, and CM also appreciated the work of Goa police as in to take quick steps and action. As we all know that FIR was registered, post that a lookout notice was released, and when they got to know that Luthra brothers are on a plea at that time, immediately after the intervention of Interpol, a blue corner notice was also released in a major breakthrough update and success for administration and Goa police and the central agencies. Currently, Luthra brothers are in the custody of Royal Thai Police.
Swarali, I'll request you to stay on with us as I'm going to just quickly take our viewers through all the latest details that we have in this particular case. Let's also pull out the latest images that have come in from Phuket, from the immigration center, where Luthra brothers are still present. Indian embassy officials are also present there. Questioning is still going on of Luthra brothers. In fact, there were certain reports emerging that there is a possibility that after the provisional arrest request that went in from India, that they would have been deported immediately, but it seems that that has now been delayed. Reports also coming in from the ground that there's a possibility that they could be taken to Bangkok and thereafter from there to India is what we are picking up.